The all-new Toyota Hilux GRS 3, the third iteration in the GRS series. It's more than just a facelift here. This is Toyota's answer to the Ford challenge of the Wildtrak X, which of course is Ford's offering for the serious off-road enthusiast. These two are head-to-head, with the Ford being around about 70 grand give or take, depending on your warranty options that you take out on the car. About 70 grand more expensive than the Toyota's list price, which comes in at 999. That's 999,000 rand. This all-new GRS though has a wider wheelbase, and it offers completely new suspension that really vastly improves the ride comfort across any manner of terrain that this thing has been tailored to conquer. Much like the Wildtrak X, you can see it sports knobbly off-road tyres, in this case from BF Goodrich, and Toyota have specified a tyre that they say offers less road noise than competing brands when on the open road. Certainly when you're on launch, the Hilux's cabin is impressively insulated at speed, and the improved ride means it's a shoo-in as a daily vehicle. That's no mean feat for a dedicated off-roader. On launch, we did some tough dirt roads, we did dunes, we did gravel, and the Hilux throughout showed SUV-like comfort. Power-wise, the Hilux has the Ranger beaten using Toyota's 2.8 GD diesel burner, which seems to be their standard offering across much of their range of all manner of vehicles. But in S mode, or S guys, GRS guys, if we're going to be completely pedantic, it pushes out 165 kilowatts, 550 newton meters. Ranger pushing out about 154 kilowatts and 500 newton meters from its 2-litre turbocharged derivative. Ford, however, claim less fuel consumption, around about 7.5 litres per 100, and Hilux are doing it at around about 8.7. Honestly, they're both dreaming. You're never going to get away with less than around about 10 in day-to-day driving, and that's if you're being careful. Where Hilux does show a little bit of vulnerability is in its gearbox. Here we have a 6-speed automatic versus Ford's 10-speed, which is silky smooth. It's a little disappointing, to be honest, but the 6-speed does get the job done, and that's even despite the fact that it absolutely and utterly ignores the inputs made by the driver via the flappy paddles. In all honesty, the flappy paddles, you could ditch them, no one would even notice, no one would care. Standard 4x4 modes on the Toyota are switchable on the fly. In other words, you're 2 high, 4 high. If you want to go to 4 low, though, you do need to put the gearbox into neutral to engage that. You have an electronic diff, which is pretty much standard these days. But interestingly enough, there are no off-road modes. What Toyota do give you is you can select between power and eco as a mode setting on the gearbox when you're driving, which is more of a driving style change than anything significant in that. On the interior, as you've just seen, the Hilux is showing its age a bit. Here, I think the Ford does leave it a little bit in its dust with a vastly superior electronic interface versus the largely analog approach which is favoured by the more traditional Hilux. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, are you a Ford guy or gal, or are you a Toyota guy or gal, as to which one you're going to go for, because the offerings between them, performance-wise, very similar. It's going to come down to the nitty-gritty and the finer details. And for me, the choice is always interesting. If you're not a Ford or a Toyota guy, which is the one you're going to pick? Is it going to be the new tech from Ford, or is it going to be that Hilux legendary tough reliability reputation? That, as always, is up to the consumer. Get your bum in a seat, take one for a test drive, and find out for yourself.